Welcome, mathematicians, second grade, module 5, application problems. Turn to your next blank page in your math journal. Label the top of your page M5L2 for module 5, lesson 2. Then put today's date. Next, cut out problem 2 and glue it to the top of your page in your journal. Press pause while you're completing your paper and then press play when you are ready to continue. To solve our problem, we're going to use the RDW strategy. First, let's read our problem and find the numbers that we need to work with and underline the important information. Read this problem to yourself as I read it out loud. Max has 42 marbles in his marble bag after he added 20 marbles at noon. How many marbles did he have before noon? I've read it through one time, and when I visualize it, I see that there are 42 marbles, and then I see that he's added 20 more. But what I don't know is how many he had before noon. So let's go ahead and circle our numbers that we're going to be looking for. I know that I have the number 42 and I have the number 20. Then when I look to see what the problem wants me to figure out, it wants me to figure out how many marbles did he have before noon. To solve this, let me check off read. So to solve this, let's draw and label the tape diagram to help us better understand the problem. Go ahead and in your journal, draw out your diagram, tape diagram, and complete it to fit this problem. Pause your video, then when you're finished, press play to see if your model is correct. Alright, you should have written a module that says that there were 42 marbles in his bag, and then he added 20 marbles. Now the reason we set the problem up this way is because 42 is my whole amount. I have to put the question in the part that I don't know. I do not know how many marbles Max began with, but I do know that at noon he added 20 to the bag. If your tape diagram is not correct, please pause your video and correct it. Because this problem can be a little tricky, let's draw a number bond to put our numbers in the correct location. Pause the video and draw your number bond showing the whole amount and the parts. Press pause to complete your work, then hit play when you're ready to check it. You should have drawn a tape diagram. You should have drawn a number bond like the one we have here on the page. We know that there are 42 marbles together, all together, my whole amount. I don't know how many he had to begin with, which is a part. I do know that he added 20 at noon. So we have to figure out how many marbles he started with. Now that I have labeled and drawn my diagrams, let's take a look to see the equation or the number sentence that matches. You should have written the number sentence or equation blank plus 20 equals 42. In Module 5, Lesson 2, we are working with arrow notation. So let's try arrow notation to solve the problem. Let me give you a little hint though. The answer will not be 62. Using arrow notation, try and solve this problem. Pause while you're working your problem, then play when you're ready to continue along with me. For your arrow notation, you should have started with the number 20. I have to add up to 42. So I'm first going to add 20 to my beginning number. So that would be 20 plus 20 gives me 40. Now I still need to get to 42. So how many do I add to 40 to get to 42? Well, I have to add 2. 20 plus 20 is 40. 40 plus 2 gives me 42. I know that my answer is 22 because I add the 20 and the 2 together. Now we have written the equation and we have solved our problem. The last thing we have to do is write our answer in a complete sentence. Go ahead and write your answer out. Press pause while you're working, then press play when you're ready to continue with me. So your number sentence should have read, Max had 22 marbles before noon. If your sentence is incorrect, please go back and write it correctly. Please pay close attention to make sure your sentence begins with a capital and ends with punctuation mark. Great job today, mathematicians, and I'll see you next time.